Well, you learn something new every day, and today is no exception. I was back in this corner yesterday showing you where I had planted some blue potted snow peas along that fence right there, from about that side of that tree to about there. I thought I didn't have any because it was so leafy and covered up back here. I thought they just didn't come up, but they did, and I found them yesterday, and actually I found more today, so I'm very excited about that. My lesson for today was that I decided to come back here and rake away some of the leaves to try to give my blue potted snow peas a chance, the best chance they could have to grow. And so when I was back here, it hit me. These leaves didn't blow back here like in some kind of wind tunnel blowing back to this corner. These leaves were swept down here by water. Now, a lot of people might think, well, duh, but really and truly, I didn't grow up around a lot of trees. My former property had no trees except for a couple of pine saplings. And so I'm just really not used to dealing with hills and leaves and things like that. But it's true. The leaves were brought back here by water. Now, that's not just news that's earth-shaking. I get that. But to me, what it is doing is it's telling me, use that water. Use that water that's coming this way anyway. You can't stop it. Use it to water your potatoes. I had decided to plant my potatoes right here because this is where my big pile of organic soil was, and I've used up all the soil, but I don't want this dirt to turn into grass. I don't want weeds to take over, so I'm fixing to get my wheel hoe out and dig it up. I'm waiting on this rain to go by, to be honest with you, though. I probably won't be doing this till like Friday or Saturday. We do have more rain than I thought coming. What I decided to do was to do my rows at a 45-degree angle to the fence. I think if I do it this way, I'm taking advantage of that water coming down the hill. Let me show you. There's the hill in front of my house. The water comes down that way, so why not let it run into the end of all of my rows instead of hitting a barrier row at the beginning and then just dispersing and not going down all of my rows of potatoes. I think if I do it like this, unless we're under some kind of crazy drought, I should be able to take advantage of any rain we have and not really ever have to hardly water these potatoes unless something drastic just happens. And I decided another thing too. I'm gonna walk up the hill a little bit so I can point it out better. There's my potato area back there. Right up in here, in this area to the right of my crepe myrtle row, I was going to put a little corn patch. Not huge, but my friend was going to come with his tractor and disc me up a little patch for my corn patch. But there again, I was probably either going to do it this way or this way, straight, but I'm going to also angle it. I'm going to angle that now and do it at a 45-degree angle to the tree. And that way, when the water comes down the hill, it goes between, theoretically, every row of corn. This is not earth-shaking information. This is things that probably farmers have figured out for so many years that it's just not even funny. But for me, it is earth-shaking. For me, I just figured this out this morning. I think it is so good to walk your property as much as you can, to get to know every little bit of it, to figure out where your water's running, so that you're not working yourself to death with water hoses and water cans and irrigation systems. And I had some of that at my other house, you know, the drip irrigation and everything. It was a pain. It was a pain to lay down. It was a pain to take up. It was really a pain if it got wrapped in grass roots and things like that. It was just, you almost just wanted to throw it away and not use it anymore because it was so hard to fool with. But why not set things up to let nature water them as better as possible? Big time news for me. Big time news. It just hit me today that this corner could be so better utilized. The simplicity of what I'm saying almost sounds childlike because I just figured this out today. We've owned this property since August. I've walked it many, many times. But when you're not walking it thinking exactly about a certain thing, you miss things. I never walked this property thinking about where am I going to put my potatoes. I kind of had an idea where I was going to put my potatoes, And I just changed my mind about that because I'm worried it's going to be too shady back there and I need them more in the sun. So I had changed my mind and decided to put them over here by this fence on this organic soil pile. So it wasn't until today I really walked over there with a potato patch mentality. So when I was over there, it just hit me. Those leaves were not just blown over there. They were in wadded piles with a lot of debris in there with it. And I'm like, I think these are just being swept here by the water. And at first I was like, I don't know if this is going to be a wet area. Maybe I shouldn't put anything here. And then I was like, no, potatoes love to get watered. Corn loves to get watered. Those are both kind of heavy feeder things within reason. And why not use that instead of working myself to death? So that's what I decided to do. Have you ever just walked your property and had a big epiphany about something? About how you should have done this or you should have done that? Or maybe in the future you can do this or you can do that? Have you ever just found something when you're walking around your property? Just something interesting that you didn't even know was there. Yesterday, I found green onions growing in my yard. I found not only a bulb of some type of lily or something that's going to come up eventually, I found green onions. I was so excited. I told my husband, I said, I was fixing to dig up that area and do something with it, but there's green onions there. And I'm just going to let them be. I'm going to see what happens. So every day when I walk around here, I seem to find little things. Sometimes it's just a little piece of concrete or something, but I still wonder, why there? Why is this piece of concrete out in the middle of nowhere? What was it for? Or did it just get thrown here like trash? You know, you don't know. So as you're picking up and you're cleaning up, you're learning your property. And I would just love to hear about your property. Tell me about your property and any mysteries it may have held, any things you discovered on your yard or in the woods or around creeks or anything like that. I'd love to know it. It's just a short video, but I'm hoping my little discovery today will really help me to grow good potatoes and good corn, because I love me some potatoes and corn. This is Lainey from Hilltop Home Place. Thank you so much for joining me. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.